Yes, the lovely Gloria there. Before that was a lovely Promises. Sorry about the sound problem there, but we'll try and get a better copies next time. I do apologise, Kelly. I really do apologise. Coming up next then, after this advert, we've got a fantastic interview with herself with the lovely Kelly Wilde.
Brunch is not a time of day. It's whenever you want it to be. Anytime, any place. It's your time. That's why Cadbury Brunch Bar is packed full of tasty ingredients and dipped in just the right amount of Cadbury milk chocolate for the little treat you deserve. Whenever or wherever you need a proper break. Brunch.
Broadcasting across the United Kingdom and across the world. And yes, we've got the lovely Kelly Wilde on the phone. Hello, Kelly. How are you?
Hello, Keza. How's it going on this fabulous day? And good day to you.
Oh, it's been, honestly, I've just been thinking about Gloria when I was watching the Sin programme. What an amazing TV programme that's been. I've absolutely loved it so far, Kelly.
Oh, so you watched number 2. That was episode 1. Episode 2, yeah, it was all about Gloria, wasn't it? She was, bless her heart, she was really ruled by her family. They just took over on her, which was not right. And people in the 80s used to do that, sometimes, or just disown them. But she had a really hard time. Her little friend didn't understand anything about it, and then they took Gloria home, and of course, she died. She died from HIV, and this was around the times that people were involved and were dying. And then they closed the show with playing out my song, Gloria. And that I was even surprised. I was like, oh, wow, that's so cool. Yeah, it was brilliant. But the time itself, and I don't know if a lot of your listeners know that much about the 80s, but that time, it was a party time, having fun. It was colourful. Everything was magical, and things were opening up, or we were trying to open things up. So it was more along the lines of, you could be who you wanted to be, and we were trying to gear ourselves to be more that way. In the scene itself, in the gay scene itself, we were very open. And we had our own little clubs, our own little bars, and it was a real scene. The old lingo. There is a word for it. It's not lingo. Friends of Dorothy. The pate. Pate?
Oh, yeah.
That was called. So you'd say, oh, Bona Tabata, you dolly old eek. And Bona Tabata, you've really got a lovely face, basically. Bona Lollies. Great legs, bone dish, great ass. They had the lingo came out of the generations who stood before us and helped to make everybody more accepted. Like today, how people are accepted. How acceptable is this that on a major channel, like Channel 4, they are putting on this TV show, It's a Sin, based around a gay band, it's a sin. It's based around all of that, playing our music. Hazel was on last week when they're playing a snippet of her song, and Gloria on this week. I know, well, you know what I mean. And then this week, who knows who they're going to play. It's just incredible that they're bringing the music out of the 80s. They're bringing the whole feel of the 80s and how hard it was. I mean, I lost 18 friends in 1 year.
Gee, Kelly.
It was devastating. And no one really knew how it came about. There's all these suggestions, a bit like what it is today with this flu thing we supposedly have, the COVID. We don't know how it came about. We suspect. We don't know. It's here. It's annoying. Yet, it's the same thing in the 80s. Nothing much has changed that way, except everyone thought, well, that's all right. It's a gay thing, which really annoyed me. Which means a gay thing. Are you having sex? Well, it's everybody's thing. You know what I mean? But that was just the way it was. It was just very judgmental. But we used to have fun, bringing the lightheartedness out of the scene itself. And that's how come I think a lot of people got accepted. But the kids today don't understand that. The older generation really had to stand up and be counted and fight for their rights. fight for their rights so that everyone today, and it's the most marvellous thing, don't get me wrong, I think it's fantastic, but if a gay guy or girl or whatever wants to go into a so-called straight venue, or a straight wants to go into a gay venue, then it becomes very open, no problem. Yeah, I'm going out with my mates. You're one of the gang. You're one of the team. It's not there's very much fewer gay pubs and clubs, which is a shame. I don't think I'd like to lose the entire scene, because it did give us a way of meeting people. I thought so anyway, a bit more on a private level. But it was fascinating finding out that kids today don't even have to mix. So when you're watching It's a Sin, you can actually see in the cups they were gay bars. I'm wondering where it's being filmed.
Manchester.
What's that?
Northern Quarters in Manchester.
Where?
Northern Quarters in Manchester. Seriously. I had messaged Russell T Davis. I met him when I was at Pride, when I met you, when I was out at Pride that year. Before I met you that night, I was with Russell T Davis, and I said to Russell, hey, you're doing something about HIV. And I got his number, and I texted him only the other day, and I said, what a wonderful job he has done with it. He's opened a light, Kelly. He really has. Being positive myself, I've seen such wonderful stories from the older generation, the 80s. And I've had a generation in America I interviewed when we first started with the radio station, when me and Kelly did. And I interviewed a guy in America who couldn't get the drugs. And he passed away, and that was really hard, Kelly, for me to go and bring him up and talk to his mother before he died. But it's opening doors, Kelly. It's opening doors for people, and I think it's been brilliant, the SIN programme. It's been absolutely, for people who are positive, it's bringing things back to the ones who lived it in the 80s, who are still alive, and they can tell their story as well.
Oh my God, I met a guy in Sydney Mardi Gras. He was around, older man, my God, he was in the Mardi Gras doing the march last year. So camp. And I just hung on his every word, because I was doing a TV. I was interviewing people in the Mardi Gras, so I have a TV thing out there called Gay Radio, Gay Television. And it was incredible. This guy had been through it all. He'd come through the era where you would be tortured. Oof, if you were gay, or your family said to you, you are, you're gay, there must be something wrong with you. We can do this. We'll put you in a mental home, and we'll give you electrolysis to get this out of you. Terrible torturing, things like that. And he went through all of that. He was the first one, virtually on his own, to set up Sydney Mardi Gras, walking as a gay man with a flag through the street.
Brilliant.
In Sydney.
Fantastic.
So people then were shocked. But my God, he set the way. Look at it today. The Sydney Mardi Gras has 1 million people just on one street.
It is amazing, isn't it, Kelly? It's like, it is absolutely...
We've come since the older generation stood up and said, no, this is not right. I can't change who I am. Even no matter what you put me through, I am who I am. And out of that era, we had the track I Am What I Am, which became one of the theme tunes that we all sang. I remember Hannah Jones did a brilliant version of it. I am what I am. You can't say more than that. Yeah. It was the theme tune, really. And then you had Evelyn Thomas with High Energy. That then crossed over to the Straights. And the Straights had to say, well, I don't know about. They're enjoying themselves in their clubs. This is in the 80s, right? Well, they're enjoying themselves. They're having a good time. We want to get in on that. So they thought if they could bring the music open and out and put it out there, then we had all these different songs come out from the 80s. As I said, in 1986, I was with Bolt's Records. And Bolt's had, oh God, it was a gay, Man to Man Meet Man Parish were number 1 in the national charts. And because it was Bolt's Records with Nicky Price, I then had at 17 in the national charts, followed them up with Nothing But Promises. Just, that's all I ever got. Promises, and I never got anything else, which is a bit of a bummer. But, you've got all of the music coming out of the 80s. And I think Hazel already had Searching by then. You've got Marsha Raven. I could go on and on. We all met in the clubs in Bolts, at a big nightclub. We all met there and did a VIP night there back in the 86. It was an incredible era. Even though the underlying factor had HIV, what I call the true character of gay people is no matter how bad it is on the bottom, they will smile on the top and show a beautiful face to the world.
Oh,
That's what I
wonderful
love
way of
about
saying
it.
it.
And I think, when I sing, When You Tell Me You Love Me, there's a line in that song, in that record that I sing, and it's, I know what's beautiful looking at you. In a world of lies, you are the truth. And I've always, always loved to sing, and I hope it doesn't change too much. Yes, we're losing clubs, we're losing pubs now, but I hope it doesn't change too much, and we still have places to go where the music matters. The music matters. They people are artistic, for God's sake. They're good at what they do. And, so, I don't know if it's a generalization, but they are. I mean, they're very arty. How many people do you know that are straight? They're actually working behind TV scenes and radio